good morning, good afternoon, good evening. No matter where you are in the world, I'm definitely glad to be here with you. You are tuned in to the Trust and Believe Nomad Cast, hosted by me, Damon Anderson. Please like, subscribe, and follow to my YouTube channel at Retired Master Sergeant 20. Please go ahead and subscribe, like, click the notification button so every time one of my videos populate on YouTube, you'll get your notification. Then you can stop whatever you're doing and watch the video, right? Yeah, I know everybody busy out there. Also, you can check me out, like me, and follow me as well on Instagram at big_MSG_retired, right? You can also find me on Facebook at bigmsg74. And as I stated, Spotify, SoundCloud, Spreaker, Podchaser, Podcast Addict, GeoSaving, to name a few. All right, so today is Wednesday, right? For my opening remarks, I hope everybody had a great Tuesday, a great yesterday. I had one. Family is good. I am good as well. No issues. Right now, local area has been raining a lot, so it's been a lot of connectivity issues with the daggone internet going in and out. But other than that, everything is good. Continue to just to move forward and try to be as positive as we can here on this wonderful Wednesday morning. But again, I'm glad everybody is doing well. It's a lot of stuff going on in the news, man, and 90% of it is negative. It's a lot more positive things that's going on in the world. But of course, the news, they make the money on all the negative things. It's like what Denzel Washington said years ago. He said, if you watch too much news, you're misinformed. But if you don't watch the news, then you're uninformed. So it's kind of like, what do you do? So take it with a grain of salt. Don't be one of them folks that just constantly watching the news all day, every day. And, you never know how this stuff can penetrate your mind, penetrate your thoughts, penetrate your spirit. So try to, even I tell myself, I try to, being at home all day, give myself a break from like the social medias of the world. And I'm a big sports fan. And sometimes I got to realize I can't watch a lot of sports and stuff and then end up going to sleep on it. I'll be sleeping thinking I done caught a touchdown or something, or a stole home plate or something like that, or hit a home run, So yeah, just be careful what you allow to penetrate in your mind, your spirit, your body. The body is the temple. Try to take care of it from head to toe, because you only get one lap around this thing, man. So you got to make it right. Be healthy as possible. Be nice as possible. Just being the best person you can be. If you're the same person you was 20 years ago, 10 years ago, did you really grow? Each day we should get better. It should be, okay, if I'm good, if I'm going to be great tomorrow, I got to be good today. You know what I mean? You just got to just keep growing and growing. And that's all we can do. That's all we ask for. Make sure, if you're married, your spouses are good, your children, if you have children, your children are good. Just focus on the greater good, no matter what you're going on in life. But again, looking forward to Wayback Wednesday today. I have like I said yesterday, a funny story during my time at Fort Hood, Texas. And I'm going to tell a story. Well, now years later, it's funny to me. But when I was in that specific moment, in that moment of time, I was so angry and frustrated. How could this happen? Everything ended up turning all right. But I tell you, at that moment, boy, it's like, God, dog, you don't know. But I'm going to go and get to that story for Wayback Wednesday. Again, like, subscribe, follow, YouTube, Retired Master Sergeant 20, Instagram, big_MSG_retired, Facebook, Big MSG 74. Find me on Spotify and Spreaker and SoundCloud, GeoSaving, Podcast Addict, Podchaser. Just trying to elevate the brand, make this brand like a skyscraper. This is the foundation Continue to build brick by brick by brick by brick, right? Got to have a foundation. Foundation should be made of cement, right? Continue to grow, continue to build. And that can be, that can be all walks of life. So let's go and get ready for Wayback Wednesday and my story about my time as a young sergeant, E5, dealing with soldiers. Wayback Wednesday, y'all. Let's go ahead and make it happen. Welcome back, everybody. You are tuned into the Trust and Believe Nomad Cast. I'm your host, Damon Anderson. Please like, subscribe, follow YouTube channel, Retired Master Sergeant 20. Instagram, big_MSG_retired. Facebook, Big MSG 74. I'm on Spotify, SoundCloud, GeoSaving, Podchaser, Podcast Addict, so on and so forth, right? Let's continue to grow this thing, continue to grow it. I'm having fun. It's my therapy. I'm loving it, right? So appreciate everything. All right, as I stated in the opening remarks, today's story hails from Fort Hood, Texas, commonly known as the Great Place. Fort Hood, for those that don't know, it's an Army base in Killeen, Texas, right? One of the biggest bases in the world. Now, we had the privilege of being stationed there from 2002 to 2005. So the story I'm going to talk about for Wayback Wednesday is actually kind of two stories which migrates into another story which makes a big story, right? And as I stated earlier, during the time of this incident happened, I was very upset, very, very, very upset. But now, some odd years later, it's a laughing moment, it's a teaching moment, right? So the biggest thing the Army and all the other branches, in the Army is take care of your soldiers, take care of your soldiers, your subordinates, take care of them, selfless service, servant leadership, all those things, right? Making sure that the soldier's good to go. Sometimes sacrificing your good so they can be great. You know what I mean? Kind of just the way it is, and it's accepted. You fall in and you lead, but you make sure you take care of your soldiers. I will continue to always live that. Take care of your soldiers, right? So in that instance, we had a rotation. Again, this is in Fort Hood, Texas. The year is 2000 and I want to say 3 because we deployed in 04. So 2003. Now, if I remember right, I believe it was the summer. So we got tasked to go to an NTC rotation. I was a young E5, and it was me and probably about maybe 14 to 15 of us. We was there, and we was there for the supply element. Doing all the logistical runs and being in charge of that piece, so on and so forth, right? So one of the soldiers that I had at the time, he was working on loading some equipment onto trucks and forklift and all that sort of stuff, right? Because units would come in, get their supplies, get whatever they need. They would go out to the box and, do all those fun things that we love, right? So this particular day, he was on a like a flat rack, which is like, it's just what it is. It's a flat rack. You put equipment on it, put parts on it, whatever. And it was like an A-frame, and it's shaped like an A. And the A-frame wasn't really secure. And this A-frame is huge because that's how the truck picks up the daggone rack and it evens it out and lays it on the truck, right? So the A-frame wasn't secure. And I don't think nobody really was paying attention. And the A-frame fell on the soldier's foot. And if I remember, it broke the foot, fractured the foot. I mean, this dude was like in the world of pain. And it got to the point where he didn't even realize it hurt until probably maybe 4 or 5 minutes later. And this dude was like in so much pain. We went to the medics. They gave him medication and did all that. Got his foot stabilized, the whole nine. Went to the hospital on Fort Irwin, which is Weed Army Medical Center, if I remember right. And I think we had probably like 10 days, 9 days left in the rotation. It was a 30-day rotation. So we ended up going back to Fort Hood. And as the months went by, he would do rehab. He would go, get stuff done, get his shots. And I think he ended up having surgery, if I'm not mistaken. So fast forward to 2004, we're getting ready to deploy. So we're getting ramped up, right? So the decision was made that the soldier wasn't going to go because he ultimately, I think he was at the end of his enlistment or he was close to it. So it was to the point, it's like, why even take him? Because, he's already fractured, foot's messed up. No use of taking him down range with us, to incur any more issues, right? So me being a sergeant, he was up under the leadership, and and now I think about it, I should have paid attention when he was on that flat, right? But he was one of them soldiers, man. You really didn't have to do a lot of watching. You tell this dude once and he'd do things 3 times. He just one of them type of dudes, man. So it wasn't a lot of babysitting. We use the word babysitting. It wasn't a lot of babysitting with this guy, man. This dude was solid. In that space, he was solid, right? So the platoon sergeant said, hey, man, we need to take him home because he's going to go home on leave. And, while we getting ready to go, because he wasn't coming down range with us. So like I said, the decision was made. So I'm like, okay, I felt, it was kind of my fault. I mean, it was everybody's fault, but, as the leader, it was my fault, that happened to him. Should have used safety, all this sorts of stuff, right? So I will always remember that, right? So the platoon sergeant was like, hey, you need to take him home. So his home, what I thought, was in Dallas. And Dallas, not that far away. I mean, it's far from Killeen, but, it's drivable, right? So I'm like, okay. So this was on the Thursday. Is he, yeah, just take him down after work, take him to Dallas, take him home, come back up, and then, you're good. And then, by the time his leave ends, we already be, down range or whatever, and then the rear detachment can, figure the rest of it out. Okay, no problem. So I let him know, say, hey, man, I'm going to come to your house, come to your room, I'm sorry, probably about 18:30. We're going to go to Dallas to drop you off and, make it do what it do. So he's Roger, Sergeant Roger. Again, this dude was solid in that space. So I left the warehouse and something happened, and for some reason I was late. And then I still had to run home and do some stuff, right? So in the process of that, I ended up leaving my wallet, which had my ID and my money and credit cards and all this sort of stuff. And I left my phone. Again, this is 2003. So imagine them little flip phones, right? So I left all that at home, trying to get to the soldier's room, and everything. So we on the freeway, we rolling. And we driving. So I'm like, man, you live in Dallas, right? He's, oh yeah, I'm in Dallas, Dallas Cowboys and all this other stuff. So I'm like, okay. So we just talking and, we talking about, what happened to NTC with the A-frame falling on his foot and, how he's going to, once he get out the Army, he's going to, do construction, and he has some things lined up. So he's pretty positive. So everything was good. It wasn't no issue. I mean, we was rolling. So all of a sudden it starts getting dark, right? Really dark. And we're driving on the interstate, we rolling. And I noticed my gas was like at a half a tank. So I'm like, man, I should be good, right? I should be good. So we driving. And then I noticed the tank starts getting lower and lower and lower. And through the course of our conversation, we just talking, we just rolling, you know what I mean? And that tank started getting low till I saw like a gas light. So I'm like, let me pull off to the side. And I didn't even pull off to like a name brand type gas station, not like a Love's or, one of them Pilot, Flying J's or Pilot, nothing like that. It was like some off brand. The gas could have been water for all I know, right? So I pulled in there and so I'm like, shoot, man, I just put $40 in here because at the time I had like a Mazda Tribute, one of them small SUVs at the time. So it didn't really take that much gas. So I'm like, yeah, I throw 40 in here, keep it moving, man. So I got to reach into my pockets. I didn't feel nothing. So I'm like, oh, where's my wallet? Where's my phone? Where's my this? Where's my that? I didn't have nothing. All I had was my daggone car keys, right? So I'm like, well, shoot, man, this dude, man, I know he can, just give me 20 or 40. I am taking this dude home, right? And the dude didn't have a driver's license. But I'm like, I'm taking him home. He at least can, give me that. So I said, hey, man, I know I shouldn't be asking you this, man, but I left my daggone wallet and my, phone and all the stuff I need to have a successful trip. I left it home. I said, man, just give me 40, man. And then when I get back home, I'll wire it to you, whatnot. This dude was like, Sarge, I ain't bring no money. I'm like, what do you mean you ain't bring no money? I'm getting mad at him, and I freaking left my stuff at home. And we're a little ways away from Fort Hood. I mean, we a little ways away, right? And we still got to go to Dallas. So I thought. So I'm like, man, bump this. I said, you know what? I'm just going to freaking just pump some gas. Now you can't really do that stuff, but 03, especially at that gas station, I just freaking pumped it. Filled that sucker up, man. It was like dark. The gas station was like pitch black. They had like one light, but it was like half a light, right? Put the gas in there, we roll. So we rolling on the interstate. Daggone E5, took some freaking gas from a gas station trying to get a soldier home, right? So we rolling, we get to start talking, we chopping it up, we talking. So I'm noticing now as the time went on and the hours went on, you're starting to see the skyline of Dallas. So I'm like, shoot, we good. Because all I got to do, drop this dude off, turn the sucker back around, and I'm going to the house. Everything's straight. It was getting late too. So we driving. So I'm like, hey man, so with respect to the city skyline, how far do you live? Because I'm thinking this dude lives like, when you tell me, okay, he's from Dallas, I'm thinking you live like, if you don't live in the city, then you probably live like maybe on the outskirts or you live somewhere in the burbs. He said, oh no, just go through the Metroplex, just go through that, we good. Just keep rolling. So I'm driving, and I'm noticing the more I'm driving, the more Dallas is like leaving. It's gone. It's like in the rear view. So I'm like, shoot, man, where Dallas at? I said, man, I thought you stayed in Dallas. He said, oh no, Sarge, you gotta keep driving. So I'm like, okay, again, taking care of soldiers. We out there on the daggone interstate. So we rolling. All of a sudden, I start seeing Oklahoma signs. I'm like, cause I ain't at that point, I had never been to that part of the country, And I'm looking, I'm like, Oklahoma. I'm like, dude, you live in freaking Oklahoma? He said, no, I live in Sherman, Texas. Now, if you look at the map, Sherman's kind of close to Oklahoma. Now, mind you, I done left my daggone wallet at home, back at Fort Hood. I done left my daggone phone back at Fort Hood. And I'm taking this dude who told me he lives in freaking Dallas. Dallas is like way in the review. And we going to freaking Sherman. I'm like, what the freak is a Sherman, Texas? Oh, it ain't that far, sorry. We driving. I'm seeing all this Oklahoma, OKC, Oklahoma. So now I'm getting mad. I'm getting heated right now. I'm not 38 hot. I'm like 900 hot. But then what can I freaking do? I got the soldier out here who told me he lives in freaking Dallas, and we driving. I ain't got no money on me, no phone, no nothing. This dude ain't got nothing. So finally we get to the residence, and my gas is just going from full to half to almost empty. Dropped this dude off, and he was like, all right, Sarge. He said, I'm gonna wait till he said when you drop me off from home, I'm gonna have my girl, give you some money. So I'm like, at that point, man, pride and all that stuff out the window. I'm trying to get back to freaking Fort Hood, right? So I ain't even care. I'm like, whatever. Drop the dude off. So he's still in the house, and it's at this time it's kind of chilly, so I got the heat rolling. So he's still in the house. I mean, I'm waiting outside for like 10 minutes. I go inside, knock on the door. He said, "Oh man, my girl, she ain't got no she said she ain't got no money." So I'm like, "Man, you done had me drive you all the way from freaking Fort Hood, Texas to we damn near in freaking Oklahoma." So I'm mad that, I wish I'd have paid more attention and brought all my stuff, but it was in the heat of the moment, man. I'm trying to get the soldier going, and I forgot all this stuff. And then this dude ain't got no freaking money. I'm like, how the freak I'm gonna get back? I ain't got no phone. So I said, let me use your cell phone. Oh, back then it was like, he ain't had no minutes, he ain't had no bars. I'm like, oh gosh, man. So at that time, I had like a quarter tank. So I turn around back on the interstate going back, and I got a long way to go. Ain't got no money in my pocket, ain't got no phone, and my little Mazda Tribute barely got any freaking petrol in it. So at this time I'm driving, I go to like an actual gas station, pull up to the side, and I see a guy come out, some cowboy looking cat in Texas, so par for the course. I said, "Hey man," I said, "I know you don't know me, but I'm a sergeant. I'm stationed in Fort Hood. I came down here to drop a soldier off. Can you give me $10? He was like, "Oh no, I ain't got no money, So I'm all around like begging, like I'm a freaking panhandler, right? So I finally get this dude, and it was like a retired, he was like a retired freaking master sergeant or something. He's like, "Oh, Sarge, you supposed to take care of soldiers." I said, "Look, I got what you're saying." I said, "I done dropped the soldier off, right?" I said, "Life things happen." So he ended up giving me like $50. So I put that in, filled the tank up. I put 40 in the tank, and I just kept 10 on me to get like a water or something, right? So I made it all the way back to freaking Killeen. I made it back. It was almost like 12:30, almost 01 in the morning. And my platoon sergeant was like, "Hey man, call me, when you get back or whatnot." So I called the platoon sergeant, let him know, say, "Hey, I made it back, And he was like, "Dude, I've been calling you all day, you ignoring my calls." So I told him the situation. I had left my phone, I had left my wallet, trying to get the soldier down to what I thought was Dallas, but we daggone near freaking Oklahoma. So I told him the situation. He just bust out laughing. I'm like, "Man, it's kind of messed up." So at this time, it was like almost like 1 in the morning. So he said, "Hey man, don't worry about coming to PT." He said, "Just come in about 9:30 and just kind of tell me everything that happened," right? And that was taken care. I took care of the soldier, even though I forgot my stuff, but that was the leader taking care of the E5 that was taking care of the soldier. So it all worked out. And this dude was great, man. He was great. So I got to work the next day, and went in his office, and we just talking. He was like, "Hey, I appreciate it." He said, "I thought something was wrong when you didn't answer your phone and whatnot." And I said, "Yeah." I said, "I was down there and trying to do the right thing and all that." But that's just one of them things, man. As a non-commissioned officer, the branch is immaterial, man. You're there to take care of your subordinates, and I felt it was kind of my, I felt it was my responsibility. Well, not felt, but I knew it was my responsibility to ensure that the soldier made it home the right way. Especially after what happened in NTC, you know what I mean? But I felt bad about the situation, but also felt good about it because, I don't know what the dude is doing, man. This is, like I said, this happened 2003. This is what, 18, if my public math is right, that's what, 18 years ago or something. So I hope everything is good with him. Like I said, man, he was a solid, man. He was a good dude. But that day he pissed me off, man. And I was really mad at myself that, I let the situation get to me when I should have just kind of just realized, hey man, you got your phone, you got your wallet, you got your stuff, but you get into this life, man, you just busy, man. You go in 5 or 6 directions all at the same time, man. You end up forgetting some things. But, yeah, like I said, man, the soldier got down there. I don't know what he's doing right now. It's been a while ago. But just wanted to kind of share that story, It's all about taking care of soldiers, taking care of subordinates and all that stuff. And And I fulfilled that obligation that day, even though he made me mad. I should have kicked him out the vehicle while it was rolling. Yeah, but it was good though. So that was my Wayback Wednesday, taking care of a soldier, driving from Fort Hood to what I thought was Dallas. And I started seeing daggone Oklahoma signs, leaving my wallet, leaving my phone, ain't got no gas in the truck, passenger ain't got no money. I'm out there begging for money like a panhandler, right? And I'm in uniform too. I'm not in civilian clothes. I was in uniform. So it's a good thing I seen that freaking retired master sergeant. He had his like a little master sergeant hat on. And, he gave me this whole spiel, I'm like, okay, got it. I need some money. But, yeah, that was a good time, man. 2003 at the great place, Fort Hood, Texas. I learned a lot about Texas that day. Because like I said, prior to that, I had never been to Texas or any, that little region over there. But I got very familiar. I got very acquainted with that area of the country that particular night. So anytime I've had any major situations with a soldier, I always think back to that moment. Make sure you got everything. Do your PCCs and PCIs and all that. Make sure you got everything locked and loaded, the whole nine, right? But again, that was just my story for Wayback Wednesday on this 22 September. So again, hope you guys appreciated the story. It was more fun telling the story than it was going through it. I'll tell you that. But, we've grown from that and everything is good. It just makes you better. So again, appreciate your ears today. Appreciate your eyes watching this. Again, like, subscribe, follow YouTube channel, Retired Master Sergeant 20. Instagram, big_MSG_retired. Facebook, big MSG 74. Appreciate all the love. Tomorrow, we got another turnaround Thursday, and we got another sneaker story. I give you 2 hints. I was in the Marines, and the shoe is the Ken Griffey Jr. Came out in 1996. So I'm going to give you a story on the Ken Griffey Jr.'s tomorrow for my sneaker story. So stay locked in, stay tuned, click that bell icon on YouTube so you can get the notification when this video drops and all subsequent videos drop, right? Appreciate the love, y'all. Wayback Wednesday. Let's get ready for Turnaround Thursday and the sneaker story tomorrow. And everything will be good to go. Happy Wednesday. See y'all tomorrow on a Thursday, y'all. Peace and love.